Howdy, I'm Kel Kellogg, and I'm one of the guys that pioneered trolling soft plastic baits for trout. This is one of my most effective baits right here. This is called the Trout Tricks Minnow. I've got it paired with an action disc, and it is a trout killer, but we've come up with another bait for different situations. This is called the Trout Tricks Minnow XL, and as you can see, the XL is bigger than the standard Trout Tricks Minnow, because sometimes bigger is better. I want to show you how to rig this larger bait. The beauty of this system is you can run Trout Tricks worms, Trout Tricks minnows, Trout Tricks Minnow Elites, and the new Trout Tricks Minnow XL on the same exact leader. And that makes changing baits, changing colors, changing shapes really easy out on the water. The more time you've got a bait in the water, the better your chance of hooking a trout. Let's take a look at this leader. This right here, this is the main line of one of my hybrid lead core rigs. I pass that line through a bead and I tip it with a trolling swivel, and then I have an 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader attached via a loop right there. Now if we go down to the business end of this rig, we have an action disc, a bobber stop that allows us to adjust the distance between the nose of the bait and the disc, a bead. The only function that bead has is keeping that bobber stop from getting pulled inside the bait, and we have a hook down here attached via a Palomar knot. Now let me remove this standard Trout Tricks Minnow, put that back in the tackle box for later. Here's the hook we're using. It is a number 4 mustad bronze sprout hook with a round eye. The eye is in line with the shank, a ring eye actually. The eye is in line with the shank, and that's important for this rigging. So, trout, whether they're taking a small bait or a large bait, they tend to grab the bait by the tail first. So it's important for you to have that hook bend back near the tail of the bait. Here's how I rig the XL. Pull that bobber stop and bead up the line a little bit, up the leader a little bit. Take my hook. If you're a righty, take the hook in your right hand, take the bait in your left, insert that hook in the nose of the bait, and we just want to pull this hook down into the bait, maybe an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter. I'm just trying to keep the hook point in the center of that bait as much as possible. You know, you don't need to be a fanatic about it, but try to keep the hook point in the center of the bait. When you get it on about that far, I've got it, shoved down almost to the eye. Now it's time to pop that hook out of the bait. Just pop that hook out, straighten the bait, and you should end up with something that looks like this. Now, you could troll the bait like that, but I warn you, you are going to get some short strikes. You will catch plenty of fish with it rigged that way, but you're going to get some short strikes. So I like to take things a step further. Here's what I like to do. I like to take that bait, grab that hook, pull that hook clear of the bait, and keep pulling it down until the hook bend is just about even with the tail of the bait. Then come up here, make sure your bobber stop is, a quarter to a half an inch off the nose of that bait. What you're going to end up with something that looks just like that. Now you might be worried that a trout is going to come in and it's going to miss that hook because the hook's kind of, away from the bait out here in the air. But that's not the case underwater. When you get water flowing past that bait, that hook is going to suck up to the tail of that bait. It's going to mimic the bait's movements and motion. When a trout comes in, nipping at the tail of that XL, that hook is going to loop around that fish's lower jaw. It's going to be fish in the net, fish in the frying pan. Unhappy trout, happy angler. Get yourself some Trout Tricks Minnows XLs, the big minnows, and get your fish on. Because remember, sometimes bigger is better. I'm Kel Kellogg.